G'day guys, and welcome back to the channel again. Today, after doing some of my other stuff, and people have seen this thing in the background and said, hey, what's that Magna? Well, let me explain. This is a 1991 TP Magna Safari. So yes, it is a basic TP. It was one of the run-out models of the TP with the 2.6, of course, and before they moved on to the TR, and these were like a special edition, you could say, or run-out edition, the Safari. They came with about $2,500 worth of extras with them. Some of the things I'll touch on, that because it was a basic executive car, which didn't have a lot going for it, but so they dressed them up a bit and threw in a few more niceties to make them a bit more saleable. And the thing is about this car is there was only 500 of Safari made, so a bit of a rare beast for all intents and purposes. I haven't seen too many other Safaris. Seen a few Magna Wagons, TPs, but not too many Safaris. And I have even reached out to a few people to see whether anybody else has seen one about, and nobody's seen one for years. So I guess you could say it could be a bit of a rare item. Anyway, there's that's one of the things that you got, and the side curtains, or side blinds I should say. And so you got roof racks, side blinds, and air conditioning, and you also got wind deflectors on the front driver's window there, and you got air conditioning and that. And like I said, it was around about $2,500 worth of extras. Here we are climbing into the driver's seat, and as you can see, it was it is quite a wide and big car. Almost about the same as the Commodore. It could even be, well, it is longer than my Commodore, but it's just a little bit wider as well, believe it or not. Even these were slightly bigger than the Commodore of the day in '91. They were the biggest wagons made, and we're just having a bit of a look around there at your air vents that you've got in the front there. And one of the things that it gets there, we'll have a look at the controls. So there are all your heater and cooling controls, and where you can place your air and where you want it, sort of thing, and whether you want to have air coming from inside or outside, and your fans control, and air conditioning, of course. And then of course it had the obligatory smoking section, so you still had an ashtray and a cigarette lighter, and of course the completely retro radio and tape deck, which sort of amazingly still works. And this is the automatic stalk. So she's the ELC 4-speed automatic. It does have the overdrive button on it, which is nice and handy on the gear selector itself, so you don't have to go searching for it. And it's just got the usual auto selections. And then of course you've had your power and economy modes. And here's the little toggle for adjusting your electric side rear vision mirrors, which was very nice too. And down here on the driver's side thing, down the bottom there is the instrument illumination control, and a rear demister switch, and rear wiper switch, and hazard lights. And that's next to the indicator stalk. And your windscreen wiper washer ones that was on the opposite side. And this little gator thing there that it's got a hole from it is a very, very cool function. It takes air from the air conditioning or heater and blows it up against the near the rear vision mirrors, so you can actually, or it defrosts the windows sort of thing, or defogs the windows. Now we're just having a bit of a look at the instrument cluster. I've just turned the ignition on. No, I didn't start it, I just put it to on, and show that there is life in it. But that's a very cool thing to look at too. I quite like the that older style instrument cluster, and very, very easy to read and functional too. That's the best part about it. And I'm having a bit of trouble here, but I was trying to show you the steering adjustment, and where you can adjust your steering up and down, or steering wheel, you can put it up and down and in and out sort of thing, so you can set it to just the way you want it. And as you can see, it's quite wide. I actually have trouble leaning over. I've got to lean right over to unlock the door, because this car does not have all the fancy central lockings and that's looking inside of its glove box. Very, very full, but nevertheless, it's not a bad looking device. This car was purchased directly too by my dad from Mitsubishi, brand new, so in '91. So it's been in the family since then. And here we are in the back seat, about the same as the Commodore. Might have just a tiny little bit more room in it, but nevertheless, it's still very, very nice. No headrests in the back of these, or this one, but it does have the 60-40 split rear seats that I'll show you after, how both of them fold down to give you more room. That's the one interior light in it. It does have another one in the wagon section that I didn't show, but there. So you've had your normal cigarette ashtray in the back for the back passenger smokers, and yeah, they weren't finished off too badly. I mean, it's quite nice vinyl plasticky sort of thing with a little bit of carpet trim down the bottom, which matches the carpet, on the floor side there. But yeah, Mitsubishi didn't do a bad job, I must say. I mean, it's lasted over 30 odd years, so it can't be all too bad, can it? But yeah, sitting in the middle, you sort of get a good bird's eye view of through the centre and out the front, and you can get a bit of an appreciation of how wide this car is, because these were actually made 6 inches wider than the Magna that was made in Japan, or the Galant that they copied it off. And the station wagon was the only, South Australia was the only place that made the station wagon too, by the way. It was a fully designed an Australian wagon. So there you are with the tailgate up. There's a bit of stuff in there. I have thrown in an old Mitsubishi bag. Just sort of makes it look the part a bit better. And after I shall remove the bits and pieces. But even with all the junk in the back, you can sort of see you've still got a ton of room really to carry stuff. And here it is without anything on the floor or anything else. And just having a look at the side privacy blinds, which are aluminium, by the way, and they're just painted black. So as you can see, without anything in there, it's quite big. And now it gets even bigger with the back seat rests laid flat. These were supposed to, as I said, been bigger than Commodore of that time in '91. And you can sort of see you could carry a hell of a lot of, groceries or, larger loads in that with the back seats down, that's for sure. I mean, you could even carry a lot of stuff even with the seats in. And here's where the spare wheel is kept, and that's the original spare wheel, by the way. Never been used. Still the one that came with the car when it came out the factory. For those that are interested, the car has done a genuine 191,000 from new. Yeah, so as you can see, quite an extensive large wagon. And you know, the tailgate works very nicely as well and opens up quite wide, so you can fit bigger and heavier loads in there, that's for sure. There it is, Magna Executive ECI Multi. Next we're going to have a look at the heart of the car, the famed 2.6 Astron Mark II. As I said in previous videos about these were Mitsubishi's party piece, and they kept using these right up, I think even up to the second Model TR, and then they started adding 3-litre V6s in there and started phasing out the 2.6 because they couldn't get any more power out of them. By this stage they were getting very, very large and very, very fuel thirsty. It was often joked it was a 4-cylinder motor with V8 economy. But nevertheless, I still think that these TPs were one of the nicest looking Magnas of that era. And you know, if somebody said to me, what would you rather have, the Commodore or the Magna? Well, I'd probably have to say both, because I like both of them in their unique ways. There's the bit of the roof rack, and just showing the extent of how big the roof on this thing is. It is massive, and you don't get an idea of how big it is until you start having to polish it or wash it and clean all in underneath that pack rack as well, because that's your roof rack. That is just massive. But yeah, I recently gave it a polish and made it look nice. There it is, Safari. So as I was saying, this was one of 500 Safaris made of TP. So I guess it could be a bit of a rarity. And also the other part of them too was that the Executives didn't come with two-tone paint. The Safari, that was the other bit that they came with. You could get different colours, but it was all over silver, of course. But so this is white over silver, and I believe the colour is called Sarajevo White, if anybody's interested in that. There's the rear stop light, and it's also got its own little squirter thing for the rear wipers, or the rear wiper for the back window, which does work very nicely at times. Very handy to have. Okay, well, I hope you've enjoyed this look around this Mitsubishi 1991 TP Magna Safari, and let me know in the comments what you think about it. So thanks for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one. Cheers for now.